I'm running with my buddy. I'm running an interview with my buddy Chino over here, where I'm fucking starting a zine. Have a sticker. It's gone worldwide. I don't got a picture of it right now, but I thought it'd be cool to do a little profile. I also think it's important to talk about people who are doing shit before the internet, you know. I want to say personalities before the internet existed, man, because everybody's so fucking putting something on these days. They don't really fucking, you know, it's just weird. 15 years ago, you met crazy motherfuckers, and they weren't showing off to anybody, dude. They were just doing it, so it's pretty cool. But thanks for doing this, man.
Anytime, bro.
Hell yeah, man. And I just got a list of questions, and we'll start going through them, so I don't fuck this up too hard. When did you start playing, man?
Damn. When I was about 5, that's when I actually started playing. I did my first show with my dad when I was 13. Back then we were doing Tex-Mex, Rebel Country, old standards, 60s, 70s rock. I mean, like, when I say old standards, I mean like Eddie Arnold, Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, Marty Robbins, things of that nature. Those were standards at the time for the older generation.
Yeah.
And so we mixed that with the Tex-Mex guys like Little Joe and Maz and other guys that also were considered Mexican standards back there. And that's what we did. We grew up playing Tex-Mex music, country western, 60s rock and roll. And then in the 80s, my older brother Bruce, my drummer for Sindicate, he was going to junior high school down the street and came home with a bunch of guys and they wanted to jam. So I plugged in the bass. This time I'd already been playing for a few years, and we started jamming together. And that was, I want to say, my introduction to playing in a heavier rock scene at that time. It was a lot different than what y'all consider heavy rock now. It was different.
Well, I think people still got a lot with that, or people still got a lot of admiration for that style of music, the older school kind of hardcore and metal. But that's super dope. But I just want to like slow it down because we were gonna get to that. So you started, like, your dad was a professional musician, right?
Yes.
He was playing around. Was that like his primary source of income? Was that what he did? I know he's in the military and shit.
Yeah, he was in the military, got out, went to the mines, but like me and my brother, he's played his whole life.
Yeah.
He was part of the musicians union here in town when it was around. That's his whole life. That's what he did. He'd go from state to state, town to town, bar to bar, and that's kind of what we grew up doing.
Well, this is going well so far, except for that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, he was a real well-known musician around town. Pretty much anywhere he went, everybody knew who my dad was.
And did he teach you and Bruce how to play?
Yes.
So he played drums and guitar?
Yes.
That's
my dad had 2 legs and very functional at one point.
Yeah, I remember,
yes,
huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I met him a few times back in the day, but
Yes.
he was older at that point.
Yes.
All right, well, that's pretty cool, man. And was it just you and Bruce that got into playing, or did any of your other brothers do it too?
My younger brothers do it a little bit. My brother Danny messes around his guitar a little bit. My brother Mondo was playing saxophone when he was younger. He got his hands in between a dog fight in the backyard, and one of the canines went through his pinky and splintered the bone. And so that was kind of the end of that.
Right on.
And that was that. You know, so yeah, me and Bruce really are the only ones who go out and play on stage.
Hell yeah, man. Well, that was kind of what I was a little curious about. That's kind of cool too, man, because a lot of that style that I think you guys came up on, correct me if I'm wrong, is almost like getting popular again now.
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
Tex-Mex.
it is. If you break down any kind of music, you'll find so many similarities in between the foundation of it. Disco, for instance, you hear a lot of hi-hat snare drum on a lot of modern music.
Yeah.
And it's in the same beat pattern as any 70s high-step disco.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. So, I mean, I think as a musician, you recognize that more than a normal person would.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's all the same. It's just presented differently in my mind.
No, for
That's
sure,
why
man. I mean, there's only so many ways. Like, there's only so many notes and so many drums you could hit.
Right.
So things all kind of tend to fucking converge, which is cool. I mean, side note, dude, that's like a lot of the newer school stuff coming out now is so like amalgamated, dude.
Right.
Whereas I think, you know, when I was younger, and especially when you were younger, dude, it was a lot more niche with the different genres.
Right.
But that's besides the point. So, all right, as far as like, well, we can talk about both, man. Who was your biggest influence, like, in music, period, aside from your father, obviously? Like, who was your favorite band? And then once you started getting more into, like, punk and metal shit, what was your number one?
Growing up, I always liked the Beatles. I still prefer to listen to the Beatles in that era of music. It's just something about the way it makes me feel. As I got older, I started getting into, like, the DRI, SOD, Metallica, Sabbath, Rainbow. My brothers introduced me to Rush, and then along with that, you know, comes to funk. You know, you got Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got Rick James. I mean, there's so much other real music being made by musicians that you are more apt to explore because you want to go see what this man is doing with his instrument. Now you got to figure out what program they're using. It's a different world. So for me to try to sit here and break it down and explain it to anybody, that it's like I used to hear all the time when I was a lot younger. Unless you were there, you're just not gonna get it. You can hear it, you can read about it, but you're just not gonna get it. You know.
That. I mean, man, that's a crazy thing. Like a lot of fucking funk music too, as far as like the energy goes. Especially coming from perspective, like, you know, both of us are pretty into like heavy shit.
Right.
And man, some of that fucking old funk shit, dude. Like not only the musicianship, but some of the energy in that, like it's not heavy, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like
it's in your face. It's there. You can't just boom, 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 boom. And then you gotta go, whoa, what the fuck was that? Oh, wow, you know.
So, all right, as much as you want, that's a crazy thing. Like a lot of fucking funk converge, which is cool. I mean, side note, dude, that's like a lot of the newer school stuff coming out now is so like amalgamated, dude.
Right.
Whereas I think, you know, when I was younger, and especially
What up, done?
us is going well so far.
Wanted to jam. Same beat pattern as any 70s high step disco. It's exactly the same. So, I mean, I think as a musician, you recognize that more than a normal person would. Yeah. But, I mean, it's all the same. It's just presented differently in my mind.
No, for sure, man. I mean, there's only so many ways. Like, there's only so many notes and so many drums you could hit.
Right.
So things all kind of tend to fucking converge, which is cool. I mean, side note, dude, that's like a lot of the newer school stuff coming out now is so like amalgamated, dude.
Right.
Whereas I think, you know, when I was younger, and especially when you were younger, dude, it was a lot more niche with the different genres.
Right.
But that's besides the point. So, all right, as far as like, well, we can talk about both, man. Who was your biggest influence, like, in music, period, aside from your father, obviously? Like, who was your favorite band? And then once you started getting more into, like, punk and metal shit, what was your number one?
Growing up, I always liked the Beatles. I still prefer to listen to the Beatles in that era of music. It's just something about the way it makes me feel. As I got older, I started getting into, like, the DRI, SOD, Metallica, Sabbath, Rainbow. My brothers introduced me to Rush, and then along with that, you know, comes to funk. You know, you got Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got Rick James. I mean, there's so much other real music being made by musicians that you are more apt to explore because you want to go see what this man is doing with his instrument. Now you got to figure out what program they're using. It's a different world. So for me to try to sit here and break it down and explain it to anybody, that it's like I used to hear all the time when I was a lot younger. Unless you were there, you're just not gonna get it. You can hear it, you can read about it, but you're just not gonna get it. You know.
That. I mean, man, that's a crazy thing. Like a lot of fucking funk music too, as far as like the energy goes. Especially coming from perspective, like, you know, both of us are pretty into like heavy shit.
Right.
And man, some of that fucking old funk shit, dude. Like not only the musicianship, but some of the energy in that, like It's not heavy, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like
it's in your face.
Yeah.
It's there. You can't just boom, 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 boom. And then you gotta go, whoa, what the fuck was that? Oh, wow, you know.
So, all right. As much as you want to talk about it, what was it like growing up in this neighborhood on the east side, 29th Street?
See, we started out on one set, and then ended up here on 29th and Cole, and then over on 36th and South 6th, and then Littletown. And so when we came here, we were already, I guess you can say, prepped for a rough neighborhood. And the neighborhood wasn't always rough until I want to say about junior high school for me is when I started seeing things getting rough. Gangs popped up, street violence started popping up, and drugs started popping up all over the place. But I guess it's the same MO everywhere about that.
What year was that around?
Oh, God, I want to say about 88, 89, around there.
And you had mentioned this before. Well, that was also when crack was a fucking big thing.
Yes, it was.
And then I think down here, more so than other places, we always had G and shit going on.
Yes.
But, and you had told me this a while ago, man, and I heard this from other people too, which is kind of crazy. I heard it from you first, and then I heard it from some other people. Like, when that movie Colors came out, it just fucked Tucson up, man.
Yeah, it just went boom. It just went boom. I don't know what happened, but it went boom.
Yeah.
It's what it is. I mean, it is what it is. It's culture, I guess, is what you call it. It's like anything. You expose anyone or anything to something long enough, and that's how they become. I mean, you can glorify anything, and you'll eventually have a great problem.
Well, yeah, and you know what?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not saying I am what I am, you know, or you don't. But growing up, that's just part of life. Even before that came out, I'm a Chicano. I mean, that's the way we grew up. That's the way. I mean, we weren't raised to be that way. Our father was an honorable Marine, a Fourth Recon Marine in Vietnam. Very honorable man. But times change. Just like I sound like an old guy sitting here, unless you're there, you're not gonna. You can't grasp it. Well, it's the same thing with me and my generation. Unless you're there, you're not gonna grasp it. I see a lot of people going running shit all over the computer on the net like there's something special. Well, back in my day, you went and knocked on a motherfucker's door, or you met at the schoolyard, or y'all met up at a parking lot and had it out as a gang. Just different times.
Yeah,
different
things
world,
are really,
I guess. I mean,
things are strange.
there's always gonna be an old sounding guy, and I sound like a dinosaur right now. Back in my day, we just kicked your fucking ass.
You sound like a dinosaur,
you know?
man, but the way things have changed with the internet, like, I know, like, as different as you may have been from your parents, and I like to think I'm probably like the last generation that kind of came up without that level. I mean, look, we had the internet when I was a kid and shit, but it wasn't anything like it is now with social media and everything.
Right.
That didn't really exist. There were no, like, celebrities or anything. It's, I think, like, people probably my age, mid-30s, and below or older, as crazy different as our generations all were respectively, I think we probably got more in common than people coming up now, because I can't even put my head around what's going on. But
right.
That's besides the point. That's kind of why I'm trying to make a print magazine, dude.
I hear you. Let's see if this still works. Who can read?
Let's see if anybody can still fucking read.
Who can read?
I can't even fucking read half the time anymore.
I hear you. At least you don't do it in cursive. Really limit the fucking clientele.
Maybe I should, dude. So, we touched on it. You said it was like the late 80s when Bruce came home with some people. Shouts out to Bruce, by the way. Maybe we'll get him in an interview one of these days, too, but there's no sticker of him, so. Fucking, you said he came home with some friends, and you guys started jamming, and you were doing bass first, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's pretty cool. And that was like your first experience with like heavy music?
That was my first experience playing with people outside of my family and genre music.
Okay, for sure. And what kind of music was that when you first started?
They came over, wanted to do like there was a Quiet Riot sound and a Twisted Sister sound at that time, kind of combination. And I remember because towards the end of that, my dad came in. He's all, Let me see the bass. He's all right,
Let me show you how it's done.
Yeah, I'll never forget that day.
That's pretty cool, though.
So Bruce, I'd safe to say that Bruce introduced me to outside going-ons, so to speak.
So, because I know he's always been into, like, Rush and Iron Maiden and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, like...
Well, we're 2 years different.
Yeah.
He's 2 years older. He's so there's a little bit of time fluctuation between both of us with different styles and different tastes and different flavors, which is very noticeable in our music at Syndicate.
Yeah.
I mean, when you break it down, listen to Syndicate, you can hear an array of all those styles that I touched down on.
Yeah.
Whether it's the cymbal or the up-picking during one of the drills, there's something that you can, oh yeah, hey, he was right. That comes from here. He's right.
Yeah.
That is, and I think when we added Corbin to it, that also brought a whole nother aspect, a whole nother realm of sound, and because there again, it's my son, so there's a generation difference. There's an age gap. He's going to bring me more modern stuff.
Yeah, no, Corbin's
so, I learned from him the same way he learned from me.
I remember when that kid couldn't even play, dude.
Yes.
I remember when he was sitting there, we were trying to fucking jam, because I was playing with you guys for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I remember when we tried to jam, and Corbin was just sitting in the fucking back playing Smoke on the Water over and over.
Yeah, right.
I was like, dude, motherfucker.
Don't do that again. Don't do it again.
Just seeing him shred now is fucking crazy, dude.
It's amazing.
But, alright, so, talking about the Syndicate, like, because that's a band that's been around for a long time, and you guys have a reputation in this city. That's kind of how I met you initially and everything. How a lot of people know you guys. When did that start, and who was, like, the original lineup?
Well, I want to say that started in the late 90s. I couldn't give you an exact year. I used to have a real good time.
Yeah,
but I want to say in the late 90s at some point. The original lineup, I think it was Bruce, myself, my homeboy Doc.
Shout out, Doc.
Yeah, what's up, brother? Oh, man, we're going way back now. I want to say my other homeboy Oso. I can't be 100% sure.
Wasn't it?
That was a lot of blur. That was a...
What was his name? Casper?
Casper played with us for a little bit.
Bruce mentioned once that he actually came up with the name.
He may have. Yeah, like I said, that was a long time ago. I got 10 years clean, 10 years sober. So I mean, that's a whole blurry lifetime ago, man.
I know. We used to all get fucked up.
Yeah. I used to have a good time.
Catching up with you, man. I'm losing these fucking teeth too.
Ooh, man, I'm thinking, I'm feeling old. Man, what the hell was? I want to say my boy Eric Johnson from Mycophagy played with us way back then too in the beginning with Doc. I can't, I'd have to get with Bruce on that. I just can't remember for mine. I couldn't tell you.
I know. I see some old.
Had a lot of guys come and go and come back, and they've gone to do good things and still around in the scene.
So I know, because I know Keith was in there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I seen him jump up with you guys a couple times.
I played with Keith with a band called Commercialized before Syndicate, so I want to say he was one of our original bass players for Syndicate. Don't quote me, like I said. I can't be sure what comes up out of my head right now, but I want to say he might have been. I think I really have to talk to Bruce about that.
So what about what's suicidal tendencies got to do with anything? As far as
that's been my whole
presence in Tucson or effect on you. What's going on?
That's my personal thing. Since I was 16, 17 years old. It's 30 years. I've got a lot of friends. I've got a lot more time than that on me. We're a family-oriented type of group. Like any organization, we try to keep in touch with each other. We try to keep low. We try to be real people. We try to be honorable people. I try not to go out of my way to shit on anybody. If I can help you, I'll help you. I ain't no saint. I ain't a fucking dummy either. it's a lot of it's common courtesy, common sense, and common respect. So you're gonna do something, do it. I don't care what it is.
How did? Because I mean, this is actually stuff, you know, I've never.
Well, I got into it originally.
Well, sorry, I apologize. This is stuff I never like. I mean, look, I've been around enough, and I know so many of you guys. You know, I've kind of put two and two together some places, but some questions I never actually asked. Because, like, I heard from guys in Balfour that, like, you guys were all kind of hanging out, and a lot of the bands kind of popped up after you guys were already
established
as like a clique to a degree, right?
Yes.
So, just how did that all kind of come together?
I don't want to say just that's thing of the times. We all had our own things going on, and we all had a commonality, and it just brought us all together. I mean, I agree a lot with what Mike Muir says and what he preaches. I feel a lot of that wholeheartedly. I've heard a lot of that same talk and influence and carry yourself this way from my father growing up. Like I said before, my father was an honorable man.
Yeah.
He, for a Marine, he had high standards, expected his sons to have high standards as well. Now, I ain't saying the man was a saint or walked on water. Time he was a Marine. Okay? So,
good dude, though.
When I was looking for, I wasn't really looking for a role model. Somebody, my friend, homeboy Lex actually introduced me to that sound when I was 13, 14 years old, and it just stuck with me. And I would hear it in my head all the time. And like I said, they're given things, they're rules about believing in yourself and not shitting on somebody, not giving a fuck about what anybody else thinks about what I'm doing. What are you doing that you have time to finger it out on me and make me out to be this bad piece of shit when you don't know nothing about anything?
Yeah.
You know, I know what I need to do. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. If you like that and you're like me and you expect to be treated a certain way and you present yourself a certain way and you act a certain way, so be it. But for me, what really did it is when I saw Rocky George shredding. Because I had only seen so many colored guys get down in that particular manner. And for me, it was, wow. I mean, this is not B.B. King. This isn't Freddie King. This is goddamn Rocky motherfucking George.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, Rocky, you know, that was the thing when I was growing up. So, I mean, dude's name is Rocky George. Pittsburgh Spiller hat means he just don't give a fuck. The name of his band, this dude's an awesome musician. And all of that stuck with me. Because, like I said, I grew up in a lot of different styles of music. I played a lot of different things.
Yeah.
For me, the lyrics and watching that minority jam like that and be in open arms with all the different cultures and people that were around was great. I mean, today you don't see that. Something's always going to fucking happen, no matter what. Period.
People. That was when I moved to Tucson. Personally, man, that was kind of a trip. You know, I'm from New York originally, and you know, I've never had a lot of money or anything coming up, but you know, in New York, it's weird, segregated, just even among whites, dude, you might get shit from an Irish dude for being the wop like I am, dude, you know?
Right.
Let alone hanging out with blacks or Hispanics or anything. It's very seldom for whatever reason. I had a lot of Puerto Rican friends when I was growing up out there, but I don't know, just weird. It was strange coming out here and seeing so many different groups of people kind of fucking with each other, and I kind of liked it. I thought it was cool.
Right.
Because I never fully understood. You know, it was never a personal thing. You could have friends and stuff, obviously, but it was just neighborhoods out there were very segregated. And
that's different world, different time shit.
Yeah. It was weird coming out here and seeing that, but I just thought it was interesting because, you know, I've heard so many stories about you guys, not just the Syndicate, but ST in general in Tucson, and I just thought it was crazy, you know, when Eric had mentioned that to me, how you guys were all running around doing that, and then all these bands popped up.
Yeah.
And it's what's the likelihood that a bunch of fucking crazy motherfuckers are going to turn around and actually come through with some good bands?
Good shit, yeah.
Because I don't want to drop too many names. I was going to let you do that, and I don't want to put anybody on blast by accident, but who were some of the bands like kind of affiliated with your crew that popped up around the same time as the Syndicate? Because I know that there's a lot of suicidal bands in town.
Oh, dude, I was drinking so much. You name it, I mean, there's bands like LMS. There were bands like The Grudge Holder. Shout out Damon Jr. Jameson. There was...
Rest in peace.
There was, you had stud bands coming out like, one song like Dover Trench. You had Blueprints for Destruction. You had, I stated earlier, you had harder death metal bands like the Mycophagy, and then you had, see who else was doing it. American Death Trippers were doing it. We had, and I can go on and on about these like bands like that, but there were just so many of us, and a lot of us are still doing it. So,
but they were all affiliated, or they were all associated with that crew.
Yes.
That's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like anything, I mean, magnets attract to magnets, and if everybody's on the same wave, everybody comes together, it kind of creates a bond and unity, and it grows like any garden that you plant and you water, and everything comes together and it grows. You take care of it, it grows, and it produces something good. And that's what happened. And a lot of those bands kept a lot of good guys from going to cages, putting them in holes. It saved more lives, just as many as it affected, from rotting.
Yeah.
As you know, it turned out to be a good thing. A lot of good people.
Well,
a lot
it's some
of
place to
beautiful
put your
things came out
energy,
of it.
man.
Yeah,
people get into shit a lot of times because they got nothing to fucking.
Let's go get shit faced, have a jam about it, and get in the pit. All right, cool. I'm break your face. I'll see you next weekend. We'll do it again.
Instead of walking around,
do it again.
Committing a crime or something.
Right? No. Steve, let's go light this garbage can on fire. Throw a rock through Mrs. Jones's window.
Oh fuck, that's actually a felony.
Oh shit. Saying that now, I can get in trouble. They're premeditated crimes if I do them.
All right, so shit, I was somewhere. Okay, so just in general, aside from the whole suicidal thing, or whatever, something a lot of people, and I mean, obviously, it's pretty niche, even anyway in Tucson. So obviously, even the stuff going on, like you had bands like UPS and American Death Trip and stuff like that, Malignant Youth in the early '90s, late '80s. Dover Trench, obviously. Which is cool. I love those bands, despite certain things that come up. But, so you hear a lot about the scene, at least if you're local and you're into it, you hear a lot about the 80s and early 90s. But then the Syndicate came up in the later 90s, and a lot of the bands that we just talked about came up in the later 90s. And just, I started hitting the scene around 2007. That's when I got here. So I don't know. I'm just curious, what were things like just in the music scene, the hardcore scene, and then even like the street culture, like around the time you guys started up until the 2000s? Whatever you can remember.
It was a blur.
Whatever you can remember.
It was good times. A lot of togetherness, a lot of unity, a lot of respect for each other, a lot of drinking. Lots of drinking, right? Lots of drinking and everything that goes with it.
I remember that.
No stranger to a good time. Those were some of the best years of my life. I put my brother Bruce through hell, God bless him. I put both my wives through hell, God bless them. And they still talk to me. Yeah. Use those words wisely, yes. They still talk to me. I communicate with all my children. I have great relationships on that aspect. Thank higher powers. But I mean, the 90s, home life was kind of rough for us growing up through that whole period. But the streets were kind to us. There was always somewhere to go. Probably not always the best places. But there was always somewhere to go, something to do, a party to party. A lot of us would end up at Reddington's Pass, Mount Lemon, or out at the tracks, or out here in Cardinal Valencia area. I couldn't even tell you the name of the place anymore. God damn it. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, like I said, it was a blur. It was a good time. A lot of camaraderie, a lot of unity, a lot of togetherness, a lot of growing up together. It's like we go through a lot. I mean, in my clique, we all went through a lot. We lost good friends, pointlessly, and others. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, they were great times for me. I don't regret anything. I wouldn't want to do anything. I probably couldn't do it a second time anyway. But it was good, and a lot of good people. I mean, a lot of friendships came, a lot of friendships went. I still have guys that I don't talk to for a long time, but as soon as we get in the same room, never missed a beat.
Yeah.
Same shit. We're just like, we just met up for the keg from the last.
Where did a lot of the shows go down back then?
Backyards, trailers, the Rock, the 00, Black Cats, the Vaudeville. A lot of places like that came and went too. I used to play a lot of house parties. Not like good house party. Not like good house party. No, yeah.
They started red tagging the shit out of
all kinds of people. Yeah, fine for all kinds of shit.
Back around, like, I remember too, because when I first got here, it was still going on. You
it was all about the house party, man.
But sometime around 2009, 2010, they started throwing out red tags like candy, man.
And then the bars got busy.
Yep.
Then the bars got busy.
And then they started throwing out DUIs.
And then, they started throwing out DUIs like candy.
Motherfuckers.
Next thing you know, you got run Chino. Oh, dude, come on, man, you probably deserved it. That's my opinion.
I remember, I never got to go to the fucking 10 Black Cats or the 00. Although
great places.
I heard a few people talking about that. Even some guys that are like my age, because I guess they didn't close down that much before I fucking got here. It was just like, by the time I got here and started like getting around and stuff, they were pretty much fizzled out. I spent a lot of time at the Vaudeville, though. I think that's actually where I met
that
you.
Place.
I know for a fact.
Hanging out with the Vaudeville.
I know for a fact you don't remember this, but that is where I met you guys. And I remember me and my old singer were hanging out in front of the Vaudeville, and you were fucking wasted, teaching us how to like split people's joints.
Oh, I showed you the finger trick.
Yeah, you were fucking shoving your fingers in between your mouth.
Well, let me show you something.
I didn't tell you that, dude. You were just doing it.
Come here, let me show you something.
We didn't ask you anything. You were just like, come here.
You didn't say no to me.
Of course we didn't. We were like,
this fucking guy's gonna hurt.
That was fun. Those shows at the Vaudeville, man, they were probably...
Yeah, I miss Kevin, dude. God bless him.
Some of my fucking favorites, honestly, man.
Yeah, those are some of my best times. Like I said, those times in the scene, boy, I'm telling you.
And they started choking that place out, too.
Yeah.
They
conveniently did the construction on the water main there in front of the buildings.
For like
three blocks down there for 3 years.
Yeah, you couldn't even pull up to fucking unload, dude.
Right?
It's like the place was a fucking live music venue. You
jump and dump. Hurry, get the dart. Go. Get the head. Go. Base bottom. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They fucking wrecked that place, man. Yeah. Obviously, something like that could never exist. I always thought that was crazy. I always thought that was fucking nuts, dude. Just like fucking, that was punk rock. That was
hardcore. That
was a hardcore punk. Mind you,
that was the place.
Mind you, the Vaudeville was only open a fucking year after I was 21.
Yeah,
but I had already been going there for 5 years.
Right.
So
we used to have Alex's kid come in, like my son Rudy, on the skateboard, all decked out, and battle lessons, patches. You know, watch that kid grow up there too, man. Fucking in the bar every day. Hey, what are you doing, kid? See where you're skating at. All right, cool. Hey, man. Hey, you need something?
Shout out Gabriel. Shout out Miles.
Fucking I saw a picture of that kid the other day, dude. Made me cry. Swear to God. I'm like, dude, look, it's little Rudy all grown up. It's exactly just like my younger kids.
Do not grow Rudy up yet.
It is bad. It is.
We had
it's good things, man. Like I said, it's a lot of good friends, a lot of good relations, and a lot of good people come.
So why do you guys? Let's hit on some fucking spicy shit, dude. Because this is a funny story. Well, it's not funny at all. It's actually fucking.
Okay, can't be good.
Why'd you guys get banned from the Rock for like fucking 15 years?
Allegedly. My homeboy was the front man for this band at the time. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. something was going on in the back, in the back patio area where the bricks are all up and the pretties on the wall. Well, there was a scuffle in the parking lot, and somebody allegedly yelled out my older brother Bruce's name. I'm like, dude, that's Bruce over there. They're stomping him out. So allegedly, a few acquaintances and affiliates of ours and associates jumped the fence and kicked the whole fucking bar's ass, and somebody got stabbed, and 16 people were assaulted with a handgun, and allegedly, we incited a riot at the Rock. That is why we didn't play the Rock for so long, and then there's also politics involved with that. That's why you can't park behind around the fences at the Rock.
Yeah, man, and I don't even know why they would blame that on you.
It was a big deal, yeah. Hell, one time the Women's Lib marched against us. We put some flyers up at the 00. Cartoon pirate scene. These two fucking pirates, they got the girl, gonna go in the barrel. And one of them's got her and caressing her throat. One's got a knife and rubbing her nipple. Oh man, they saw that flyer and they came and they stood in front of the fucking 00. Until every one of those flyers come down and yeah, man. Hey, there's been a few of those, but mainly because we allegedly created a big stir at the Rock. And I'm like, no, dude, that's primal instincts taking over. Somebody tell you your brother or sister or loved ones out there is gonna get stomped, and you're just, okay, cool, whatever, I'll see them when they're done.
It's always fucking
How does that work?
Man.
Yeah,
It's
the allegations are,
they always want to fucking put the blame on somebody, dude.
yeah.
That's the thing, too.
All charges were dropped and dismissed. Nothing was done for the parties involved. I mean, everybody was innocent. So.
Regardless of who was involved, man, usually it's the fucking venue or the motherfucker running something who doesn't have their fucking P's and Q's covered, dude.
That's why.
And then they always want to turn around and fucking put it on somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Where was your security?
Where was your security? Why were you letting shit? Why was some motherfucker getting stomped out in the first place, dude?
Right.
Like, you're supposed to have a fucking handle on this, and then you expect motherfuckers not to, like, handle it themselves?
Not to react. Yes.
I don't know. That's not... I'm just saying, dude. It reminds me of that time with the fucking t-shirts, dude, when that motherfucker tried to put your guy's shit on a t-shirt.
Oh, yes, and then charges for him?
He wanted to charge you for t-shirts with your own fucking name.
I remember that.
I got into that shit, dude. You talk all this shit about fucking net banging, dude. I got into it. I was talking shit, too.
And we were alleged asshole thugs for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, can you repeat this? It just doesn't sound right.
They're ruining the whole show, guys. Feel bad for me. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Why are you trying to sell a motherfucker a t-shirt with their own shit on it, man? I be getting a lot of fucking drama around t-shirts.
Right?
Fuck.
Right?
Hey, Felicity, can you check the phone, make sure everything's...
It's still recording.
It's still going? Hell yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Want to make sure
Okay,
if there's anybody in there fucking asking anything that they address it.
Okay, everybody, Sophia.
Hey, I got a couple of these mongrels here for sale.
Yeah, we got dogs for sale.
Oh yeah, we do
They're
have them.
American Bulldog Pit Bulls.
Can I show them?
Yeah.
They are asleep right now, but
That's a
bam.
rarity.
1, 2, 3, 4, ready to go home.
The 3 of them need good homes.
Come get them. Oh, I'm sorry, 3.
We're
Come
about
get them.
females
Let me
and
see.
more than halfway
So
through
we're
this.
so loud. Let me see what it says.
Let me take a look at what we got here.
Yeah, all right. Good.
Who's in here right now? Thank you, fuck the Rock.
Thank you, fuck the Rock.
Was it Bo saying it?
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't. Who was it? Oh, that's the homie Johnny. Shout out Johnny.
Nice.
Way off subject, but I know a lady that got fired just the other day because she sent a text message to her boss and she called him a little fat fuck and it was supposed to go to somebody else. So she did lose her job.
Well, that sucks.
Well,
Yeah. This is not your interview.
it'd be cool if we had a little more action in the fucking chat, but that's all good. This is just for documentation purposes anyway.
We have
All right.
Sophia. She's going to give us an action in a
She's
minute.
giving us a little too much action.
Hold on.
We'll fucking
Up and over, Sophie.
get it set up again right now.
Alright.
We all good?
I got you.
Yep.
And
Alright. And we're getting pretty far along in this anyway.
Chino's interview. Continue, please go.
Yeah. Take 2. No.
3.
Fucking.
Just kidding.
So what's up with Sixth Sense? How'd you guys link up with them?
Through the scene, came out and did a show. We played a show with them. I want to say at the Vaudeville.
Yeah.
At the Vaudeville.
Dude, some of those fucking shows, I remember catching Sixth Sense at the Vaudeville with you guys.
Well, the
those were
homeboy Kevin was
crazy.
from BWF chapter out there in California.
Yeah.
So when we first met, we clicked right away because of politics and the neighborhood situation. And he first started, he was wrenching with me, and we'd go back and forth and do the gearhead thing, and told me, I'm by this club, dude, we're going to do this and that and this, and bam, we fucking did it. Ha! We did it. So, through him, I even went and hung out with Beowulf down there when they came and played, Dale Henderson and R.I.P. Milpo Johnson and all those guys there, Good times. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of that came through playing in the scene, being with the neighborhood, and just knowing who we knew and who just rubbing elbows with the people, keeping it real, being who you are, not putting up that front and people fucking, just grabbing for each other. And so when they came through, they liked what we did, they enjoyed the hell out of it, and my brother Bruce is good at talking with people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm a lot better than I am at it. I'm not such a social butterfly, but I try to be now. See, I know we're booking shows. We're going out there. They're coming out here. We're halfway in between. Now, Daniel owns the skate shop, and so we've had shows out there. I lost the teachers that show, as a matter of fact. A couple in the box back there, I can tell you about each one of them. Yeah, that came up through shows through the neighborhood.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I mean, honestly, yeah, I was kind of was stoked on all that, dude. Fucking, I don't know. It was just interesting. I want to take a fucking minute, dude, only because I just always thought this story was funny, because I was thinking about when I ended up playing with you guys, and I don't know if I ever told you this, but back when we were playing down there at the fucking sheds or whatever, and I had a band, and we barely got those fucking idiots, dude. I had like fucking 2 or 3 bands that fucking kept on falling apart, even though they were all pretty decent, I thought. But my last band had just broken up, and I was just fucking holding the room and like hanging out writing and stuff and doing my own thing, fucking same as you guys, just probably getting too fucked up. And I remember you guys had a show at the Runway, and I can't remember if I was actually there or not, but you were having like a little after party in your room, and I was over there posted up with you guys, and somebody was passing around a pretty big bag of candy, and it disappeared. Someone fucking just took it. I remember, like, it was not an unsubstantial amount, dude, and like all of a sudden nobody could find it, and I was like, fuck, dude. And I was like, oh, I don't know, like, it wasn't me, it really wasn't me. But, after a little while, everybody kind of got a little sour and shit. And this is around the time you guys had, like, lost your bass player. And I was like, well, it's good hanging out with you guys. I guess I'll go back to the room or whatever. And probably like a week later, I was in my room fucking fucked up on something. I was fucking half asleep on the ground. And I wake up and fucking Bruce and Dave are just, like, standing over me. And, like, the first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, they think I stole the shit. They're
gonna kill me.
How it does end.
And they're like, oh, come in the fucking, come over to our room right now. And I'm just like, well, I guess I'm gonna go. And then you were just, like, standing there waiting on me, and I was like, fuck. And then you guys were like, yeah, so anyway, we need a bass player. And I was like, oh, that's cool, guys, good luck. And you're like, no, you're going to play bass with us.
I'm going to show you what you need to know.
Yeah, I was like, all right, fuck it. And, that ended up being a thing for a little while. But it was pretty funny, man. I was about to hit a fucking brick, man. That was fucking crazy what happened to Dave, too, dude. That was a fucking gnarly story, man.
Yeah.
That was
a good guy, too.
Yeah, that was pretty heavy, man. Fucking felt bad about that one. And then that was not
That's
too
the
long
last
after.
time I drank was at his
Memorial, yeah.
memorial at the park.
And I don't remember if that was shit, man.
I don't remember it either, really. Yeah, shit.
That was fucking weird because that was right around
last
fucking
time.
Rick passed away too.
A lot of people died.
Rick passed away right then around too, and they were close. And American Death Trip Rick, shout out, I guess. Yeah, they were cool. I used to love that guy too. Rick was cool as fuck. So was Dave, man.
Bruce went to junior high school. Though.
Yeah, and then fucking Chewy passed not that long after that too. So that was a fucking crazy fucking. Yeah, that was a rough time, man. I remember that kind of got me a little bit too, because at that point I had been hanging out with you guys for quite a while, and
you know,
that was like a heavy time, dude.
It's always just kind of part of the lifestyle. It's a part of life, no matter who you are, where you go.
Yeah.
Somebody, you always gonna lose somebody close, but it's bad when you lose them in a violent way.
Yeah.
God rest my brother Chewy. Shout out to 29th Street Blood.
Right.
What up, homeboy?
Fucking. All right, man. So we covered a fucking shit. Actually, no, because now I'm thinking about, bro, when we went out to California, dude. This is just nice. This is fucking fun, dude. So we went out to Cali and we got that fucking dickhead to put us up in a motel. Not gonna name him, but
right.
fucking, we got that guy to put us up in a motel, and this is back when bud was pretty much totally illegal still. Although in Cali it was a little looser.
Yeah,
and,
not by much, but
Bruce is like, fucking. First of all, I remember I think me and you drank like no one else was drinking, and me and you had like 2 30 packs. We're like, oh, I guess we gotta do something with these, dude. We drank like fucking 60 beers. It was like fucking.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
I ended up fucking taking ecstasy and hanging out with some hooker, like, after you guys passed out.
Alright.
I wasn't even hooking up with her, dude. She was actually taking clients, and I was just waiting outside the room. Everybody thought I was like her pimp or something. And she was just coming out, and I would just chop it up with her because I was rolling so hard. I was hey.
Do you want some fry?
Yeah. And I remember fucking...
What time's your next bloke coming?
Yeah. Bruce, yeah, you gotta fucking get on time. Jump in the shower now.
Oh, no.
Fucking...
No.
Bruce is sitting in the fucking room with like fucking 10 gallons of butane trying to make wax. Yeah. And Chewy's just like, dude, this is how fucking motels explode. He's like, the fuck are you doing?
Ain't that the same year he ate the fucking plastic wrap on the bologna?
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I remember on the way out there, too, he was fucking bitching me out because I fucking had to stop short and he spilled bong water over my car. He's like, you fucking idiot, now we're gonna get pulled over. I'm like, why are you smoking a fucking whole-ass bomb in my fucking minivan, dude? When we're trying to go across the fucking state. We couldn't even get a fucking rental that day because none of us had any fucking credit. We couldn't come up, there were fucking 7 of us, we couldn't come up with a fucking proof of address, dude.
Yeah.
That was fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, I rode up there with Garza, I think it was. Yeah, man.
Fucking,
Good times.
alright, we got just a couple more. How'd you get into working on cars? And if anybody out there needs a fucking good mechanic, you know?
Cars. Cars started young. Maybe with my dad there again. You know, basic stuff. And I need this wrench. I need this. I need that. Yeah, hold this while I crank the car. Touch it. Oh, it shocked you. It works. Cool. And from there, it just kind of took off on its own. I started doing shops. I couldn't tell you when I started working in shops. I think I was 18, 19. I had an acquaintance of mine named James. Lived upstairs from me in a studio apartment. Been up frying for like 4 days. He came banging on the door talking about, hey, dude, I need someone to come change oil at the shop. I'm the operations manager. I need somebody today. I'm like, dude, man, let me tell you, bro, it's a colorful morning, but I ain't ready. My first wife, she said, what's it gonna pay? He spit out the number. It was a big number for back then. I think it was like $7.85, $8 an hour or something. Man, that woman, she's like, what? Get the fuck out of bed and go to work. I'm like, go to work. I got stuck in the shop all the way up until I was 38, and then they said, no, you're done. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do this anymore. You got to get out of it. You can't be around people. Here, take these, go drool on yourself, and call it a day. That's how it started. It's like kind of anybody that does it. You know, I mean, I guess I give a lot of things as a given that aren't like the music. I mean, growing up in my family, everybody around us played.
Yeah.
Outside of my family, not everybody plays. It's a little different. Not everybody listens to a whole array of music. It's different. So, I guess
I'll say that much, man. Like, just outside, and it's not like obviously whatever. It's and I just because I know your family so well, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I was a accident baby, so I didn't have like brothers and sisters and my parents, whatever. It was just I was kind of always by myself, like digging. And you guys definitely have like a lot of shared interests. It's kind of cool to
my dad tried to
be
raise us
exposed
to be
to cool shit
together as
Yeah.
a group. He raised us as a unit, so we try to keep everything. So we look out for each other growing up. And if you know, you know. You ain't gonna strong arm any one of us.
No.
That is not gonna happen. Sorry. So with the cars and things like that, I take it for granted that hey, everybody can go out there and change a fan belt.
Yeah.
Anybody can go out there and do a brake job, but that's not the case. Not everybody grew up around that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I forget that sometimes, and I become frustrated and impatient and irritated with people. But that's because I don't sometimes I forget that it's not like that for everybody. So sometimes it gets just gets to be a pain in the ass sometimes,
Yeah, but no, if it makes you feel any
that's how
better,
it started.
if it makes you feel any better, dude,
just
people
out
are
there
dumb
doing
as
it,
shit.
you know?
People are dumb as shit these days, so. I mean, yeah, but, you're pretty fucking versed in it, man. I mean, it's kind of crazy watching you work on shit. You always know exactly what's up, and, that's just pretty cool. So, I heard you say something pretty funny one time. And
Oh, shit. I must have been fucked up.
No, you were sober, man. You were sober. You were just talking about, like, how, when you were a kid, you were always raised. Maybe let's just get a little bit more on current events first, that we're almost done here. You were saying how you were kind of, like, raised, when you were coming up, and me too, honestly, to a degree, at least what the older people told me was, like, you don't want to fucking ever get into debt. Now you can't do fuck all unless you got fucking a credit score. You're paying out the ass all the time, dude. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Why do I gotta fucking get a credit score? Doesn't that mean I owe people money? But whatever.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
What are your thoughts on the music scene as it is today, at least from your perspective?
It's like it's always been. Different presentation, more growth. It's like anything, pros and cons. I don't care a lot for a lot of mainstream music. A lot of it to me is really repetitive, and I think that's why I try to stay in an old school manner. Not so much because well, fuck those guys, they suck, or well, I don't like the way that computer does this. It's not so much that, it's just, it's not as challenging for a musician to pick up an instrument and turn on the radio and say, okay, what are we going to do? Let's find the scale, let's break it down, now let's elaborate on it and grow something from it.
Yeah.
When everything sounds the same and all your beats are the same and based on the same shit, nobody's doing really anything too different. Nothing that really comes out and says, hey, come over here and fucking listen to me. Like when you go buy a record or go buy a CD when they first came out. Hey, dude, come on, I got that badass stereo at the house. We're going to listen to this fucking full stereo fucking death metal fucking CD from Cannibal Corpse. And we're going to fucking hear these motherfuckers shred. Now you got to wonder, is it an actual dude playing that, or is it a computer program that's been programmed with the DAP pictures to get the level here and the mark there and the number here to make it sound like this, so it sounds like this guy on guitar. I don't like that shit. I like it raw, I like it live, and I like it real. That's my only real pet peeve about a lot of today's music, is they're so dependent on the computer, on the AI, on the programs of the net to compensate. I don't want to say lack of ability, but I want to say musical growth, because to me, to program a computer to make the sound is not a musicianship. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Take it how you will. But the only person pushing program buttons that's making any sound is the keyboard player. Okay? To do it on a keyboard screen, It's not making music to me. I think you lose a lot from the sound of actual sound to the computers. I think a lot gets lost and it limits you to your beats. And I think that's why a lot of the music that I do here today is consistently the same.
No, I think you're right. I think too, like, I was gonna say like lost in translation, but I don't know if that even makes any sense. There's definitely like something to be said about like, you know, you could have whole fucking scenes pop up or whole sounds come about, like where one motherfucker is influenced by, like I know like when I was coming up, dude, we were always trying to like copy our favorite bands.
Right.
And
I want to sound like this and this and a
yeah,
little bit of that.
but we kind of also like sucked ass. So now this doesn't necessarily apply to you. I'm just saying from my perspective. And like, so like I would hear something on a record or something, and I would turn around and try to like copy it or make a song like that, and
Right.
then I would have to compensate and make it sound good in my own way based off of what I could do, and that would be like your sound.
That's
You know?
being a musician. That's what
Yeah.
Metallica did with Motorhead. That's where Metallica gets their whole sound. Now, that little big person to tell you, I fucking love Motorhead. I wanted to sound like Motorhead. Where
Yeah.
do you think our early sound came from? Listen to them.
So now with computers and sampling and everything, it's just like if you have it in your head, like, oh, I want to do something that sounds like this, you could literally just go chop that out and use the exact thing. So there's no having to adapt
There's
it.
no creativity.
Well, there's still creativity in the songwriting and stuff, I think. I mean, I think there is good music coming out. Like, I agree with you and I don't in the sense where it's like, yeah, for sure. But it's like having to skip that step of like processing it through your own filter and fucking making it your own just takes away so much. And I think that people playing music are missing out on a lot of growth because of that as well. There's still people out there, like I know Corbin's in the computers and shit, that can do awesome shit, and maybe they can do a lot more stuff that we couldn't necessarily pull off just having
Right.
access to that. But no, I agree with you 100%, man. Everything you're saying, how things tend to sound more derivative now because of that.
I mean, it's all pros and cons. I mean, for
Yeah, everything.
some people it's great. I mean, but that's my personal opinion of what I see and why I think almost everything you hear on the radio is so similar.
No, I feel you 100%, man. I really do.
Everybody's, it's either raw or man, poor fucking me. No, motherfucker, you're being stupid. Get off your fucking ass, wash it, get some fucking pride and handle your fucking business. We need more of that, not more. It's okay, little Johnny.
I think
Get the fuck up and put on your big boy pants and go fucking do something with yourself.
I think like especially, you know, like the record companies were shitty in the way they operated and stuff back in the day, for sure.
But that's a lot to blame for.
Well,
we
the
have
thing
mainstream.
is, I think, you know, back then, despite, you know, the reason you would get certain bands that would, like, kind of, like, hit, even though they had, like, a style that wasn't necessarily, like, all there, like, you know, and I don't know if these are necessarily all your favorites, but it's just examples, like, you know, fucking, like, a band like Nirvana, you know, a lot of people got a lot of things to say, but they were definitely a little subversive. They were definitely an underground band before they got big. And the record company had to acknowledge that they could make money off of them, so they were kind of forced to put them on a pedestal.
Right.
And now you got something alternative getting exposed to a lot of different people. Same thing with like Suicidal to a certain degree. Nowadays, it's really all about singles and algorithms and stuff. So it's like people are really sitting in their bedrooms just trying to create something that's going to go viral. And that's, I think, even more why it's like very similar all the time, because they're almost just trying to please the computer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not like getting on a stage and breaking a string in the middle of your fucking...
No.
All right.
Or making an impression on people.
You know, yeah, I mean...
Going out
it's
playing
a little
live
different.
and making an impression and getting your fucking following and getting known that way.
Yes, it's a whole different feeling when you're there with the crowd.
I had to fucking...
Watch them.
I caught shit. This is like an aside, dude. Like, you know, I'd be making my t-shirts and shit, and some fucking chick I met online, attractive lady, whatever, she said, hey, let me model one of your shirts for you. I said, okay. And, you know, she took some nice pictures and stuff. And, dude, it's like the way the computers work. It's like, so I posted a picture of an attractive girl wearing one of my t-shirts. And it got 5 times as many likes, as much interaction and exposure as anything else I've posted. Now, obviously, everybody since the beginning of time has been attracted to, like, attractive women or whatever. But it's like because it was a selfie of a hot chick, like the computer recognizes that as something that like pleases it, and it pushes it harder.
Yes.
So then with music, it's the same thing. It's like they have to make music that hits all these beats, and then the computer will kind of distribute it for you.
Yes.
And it's all fucked up now.
Yes.
We're all like zombies whether we realize it or not. But that's besides the point. So, anyway, man, look, this has been fucking awesome. Anything you want to say about anything? Anything you want to talk about? I mean, we're live. I think there might be one person watching this right now. But it is going to get out there eventually. And as a matter of fact, I'll check real quick and see if there's anybody in here. Hey, one motherfucker who's in here right now. You got any questions for us? Stop hitting the 100% button. Just say, do you have anything? Ask us a good question.
Who's this motherfucker?
I don't know. I can't even tell.
Who's the motherfucker?
We're taking questions, guys. This has been going on for quite a while. But, alright. I guess that's a no. Fuck it.
Alright. I'll answer the main one. Yes, I took my fucking medicine today. Have a great day. Take your meds. Don't get in fucking trouble. Don't get caught anywhere. Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.